What is up, my beautiful people? Welcome to episode 5 of On the Laulau with Lolo. So I'm really excited about today's episode, which I'm actually very glad about because y'all, I've been feeling weird for the past few days. I don't know if it's energetically, I don't know if it's me, I don't know, but I have just not been feeling like myself, and a conversation with my beautiful big brother yesterday kind of like brought me out of it. So I just felt super inspired and energetic this morning, which is so nice because the past 2 days, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been playing Sims. If you don't know what it is, it's the game where you build houses, you play a family, you have kids and shit like that. That was like my most favorite game when I was younger. And I'm 22 years old and I still fucking enjoy that. So I think, just it was like some inner child cherishing moment, but it did feel annoying that like for a few days I didn't get any ideas for videos, and like it just feels weird because this stuff comes so easily to me. Like I know people, some have to like sit down and plan their content, but literally me, it's like I'm always receiving ideas and then I just film it, and then it's just, there's no content creation planning, y'all. This is just source streaming through me, all right? So, for the past 2 days, I've been saying like, oh, I'm not feeling inspired. I don't have any ideas. I feel like I'm in a funk. And I just wanted to like touch base on this. The more that you feed those types of thought, the more that they amplify. Because yesterday I was falling asleep and I was like, rebuttal, Steve. Like I was fucking flipping the switch, meaning the thoughts that were coming up is like, oh, I feel so icky, I don't have ideas. I flip them to, I feel so inspired, I have so many ideas, I feel so good. And here's where here's where how fucking powerful it is to consciously think the thoughts you want to think before falling asleep. When you fall asleep, your brain is getting ready and amped up to like dive into the subconscious mind, meaning whatever you fall asleep with is what your subconscious mind is going to work all night on and is going to show you the proof of that the next day. So I truly believe that by like switching the types of thoughts I was thinking before falling asleep last night, I woke up feeling this good. And I don't know if you guys know what a life script is. I wrote an entire ebook that teaches you how to write your own life script, but I have my own life script that I play when I wake up and when I fall asleep, and literally when I'm doing so many different other things in the day that I just play it as background noise because your subconscious is always listening. So I highly suggest you get that ebook if you're like, what the fuck is a life script? But it's basically you write, sentences in present tense, and you're stating emotions and what it feels like now that you have this thing. So it can be financial, it can be a relationship, it can be the house you want to live in, whatever it is. You focus on the feeling of that thing and then you write sentences, and I teach you in the ebook which sentences work best if you really want to reprogram your subconscious successfully. When I wake up, I'm still kind of like half conscious, but I always go like, play your life script because your subconscious is really fresh right now. So like I'm still in between sleep, but I know that it'll take me about 5 minutes to just like naturally wake up and be like, okay, let's go. So I just grab my phone immediately and start playing my life script as I'm like starting to wake up, because your brain is fresh. You gotta like ram it when it's fresh. It's like a sponge, it's ready, So I was listening to my life script and I was really like, I was tired of feeling in a funk, like it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like me. Like I love making videos. I love talking about this type of stuff. So it didn't feel normal that like, yeah, no, fuck it. I just don't feel like it. I'm just going to play The Sims. It felt like doing a disservice to you guys and to just like, anyways. So I feel like that really changed it into high gear, and obviously I'm very grateful for my big brother because he said a lot of things that I feel like I just needed someone to tell me. And this is just another thing I kind of want to touch bases on, the whole reprogram your subconscious thing, because I've known about this for so fucking long, but it's only until this year that I've really understood the material when they say reprogram your subconscious mind and then shift your reality and then blah, blah, blah. So writing a life script and recording a life script is an extremely powerful tool to reprogram your subconscious mind. The reason being is you're focusing on the feeling of that thing, and we're never chasing the thing that we want. We're chasing the state of being. We're chasing the feeling. So we're not chasing financial freedom. We're chasing freedom. We're not chasing to fall in love. We're chasing passion. So it's all of these types of things, and I dive into it in the ebook. If you don't know what you want in your life, you must know what you want it to feel like. So if you can base yourself on the feelings, it's much easier to start like visualizing and being like, okay, what is it that I want for myself? I know I want to feel peaceful on a daily basis. I know I want to feel inspired. So then you can get a little bit more specific if you go based on the feelings. Now, the beauty of writing your life script is that you can record it with your own voice, because obviously it's your own voice. It is twice as much powerful than listening to someone else. I know that your voice literally does fucking miracles if you're saying stuff like, I am so happy and grateful now that I am wealthy. But I go into I have way better sentences than that. That's just fucking average kindergarten material, I am so happy and grateful now that money flows to me in a way that is so easy, and I feel so creative and free expressing my authentic self, and I'm always being provided for. That's the type of shit we're going for. We're not going for I am wealthy. That's so vague. I want you to dive into it and tell me how the fuck it makes you feel, right? Because a lot of people are chasing wealth. I get it. But you're chasing the experiences that comes with being wealthy. You're chasing going to the grocery store and not having to wonder if it's on sale, and not caring if it's organic and if it's double the price, but it's high quality and you want it, you have the money for it. It feels so good that you buy it. You're chasing the feeling of going into any store in the fucking mall and seeing an outfit that makes you feel so fucking good. And whether it's $20 or $2,000, you have the money for it. You're chasing filling up your gas tank so easily you don't even think about it anymore. You're chasing going to restaurants that you've never been able to go to before, and actually tasting foods that you would have never been able to enjoy without that wealth. I'm getting chills and goosebumps all over my face, because you really have to dive into it. Those things that you want, I want you to get creative about it. So this is literally, get my ebook. I'm just saying, this is everything I talk about in there and even more. But let's say you want to manifest a relationship. I don't want you to just tell me, I can't wait to meet someone. I want you to tell me, what does it look like? Do you guys laugh together? Are you always laughing your asses off together? Who's funnier? I want you to simulate it as if you're having a schizophrenic episode and you're imagining things that are not there, because they already exist. And if you are receiving the mental images of that means they probably exist, but your physical reality simply needs to align with your imagination. That's literally how manifestation works. You have an image in your mind, you hold on to it, you hold on to the feeling, you stay in that state of being on the same vibrational frequency as often as you can. Because when you tune, here's the thing, I talk about the Matrix a lot, right? The Matrix wants to keep you. The Matrix is enslaving you. The only reason is it enslaves you is because it taught you to look on the outside first. It taught you to need the physical proof and reassurance to do something before doing it. Even though your spirit, your soul is telling you, do this, because your soul knows what's going to happen. It doesn't need the physical reassurance, but your ego, that is based off of trauma, off of fear, off of doubts, needs the physical evidence that I can take this jump for myself, or I should do that thing, I should call that person, whatever it is. Your soul knows. So it's really about a process of just letting the fuck go and learning to trust yourself and your desires and what you want to feel for yourself. Giving yourself permission to be I want to feel this good. You know what? I am giving myself permission. I want to be wealthy. I want to be a millionaire. There's nothing bad about it, but maybe if you've learned to feel guilty for wanting these things and you're so used to putting other people in front of you, it's so deep. That's why the whole self-awareness journey is extremely important when uncovering all of the lies that have been programmed into your subconscious mind, because those are the only things that are holding you hostage to your current reality. So going back to the life script basis, you can elaborate on the things that you want, and I want you to get detailed. I want you to get deep into it, because this is a fun, playful process. We are alchemists of energy, meaning you can take any type of energy and make it what the fuck you want. You can decide that you are a wealthy human being and then be inspired with actions to take in your physical life that are going to bring you that wealth. A lot of people think that manifesting wealth means it's just going to shit out of the sky. Sometimes, yes, you can walk in the street and see $100 bill. Sometimes, yes, your lottery ticket is going to be a winner, type of stuff like that. But sometimes it literally wants you to take action, because that financial freedom can come to you in a way that's really enjoyable. You can have a really fulfilling career, but if you don't believe, and you think, well, I deserve to be rich, where is my money? That's ego, that's greed. Writing a life script can sometimes be constricting and contradicting energies, because here you are getting really excited about this thing that you want to align with in your life. But then you go back into the physical mind, the ego that is used to looking on the outside first and being like, well, I don't know how we're supposed to make this happen. I feel like this is too far-fetched. Maybe I should be more realistic. And then all of those little voices in your head start popping up, invading you with discouragement, and then you stop the process of creation. When you write a life script, you do it because it feels good. You do it because it feels aligned. And I write this in my ebook, how don't start writing a life script for fucking 5 years in the future, because that's going to be really, really hard for you to embody that state of being now. So let's say right now you have a beat up old car and you really want a new car. I want you to tell me the correct characteristics of that new vehicle. I want you to tell me how it feels like when you sit in that car, you have what the hell? I'm sorry, my words. I'm too excited. The words are not matching up to the speed of my brain. How does it feel knowing that you have AC on the hottest of summer day? I want you to tell me. It feels so nice because when I get into my car, I feel so hot, but the second I turn it on, the AC is blasting me with cold, refreshing air. I feel so good. I am so grateful for this AC. I love how comfortable it is to sit in my car. I love taking road trips. I love taking my friends on road trips. I love riding in the car with my parents. I love riding in the car with my loved one and singing music with the windows down. It feels so nice. I'm so grateful that this car works perfectly. I'm always safe and protected in this car. Thank you so much. I want you to fucking get into it. Don't just tell me that you want that model of the car. I want you to tell me the experience of having that car, because I feel like when people think about their dreams, they forget that there's an in-between, right? So we think there's the point in time right now, and then there's the point in time in the future where eventually we'll have that thing. And it's like we forget that there's a journey to like get to that thing, and that it's almost as if when we have that thing, we won't even realize we do, and it'll already be normal, because we're literally like, we birth new desires every single fucking second. You've noticed, you've experienced this. You really want that new pair of shoes, you get that new pair of shoes, cool. But then you want something else. Like, we'll always want something else. Even if you achieve that thing that you've been waiting to achieve for a really long time, trust me, you're going to find something else. So it's just the natural process of creation, which is totally normal. But then I feel like that's where we just got to reel ourselves back into the present moment and be like, like, I once wanted this. I'm going to take a second to slow down and appreciate this before getting back into the hustle mode of like needing to get something bigger, needing to get something better, because maybe you're not meant for that at all. I listened to one of my favorite like spiritual teachers, and he said one time, all of these egos think that they're the ones manifesting, when in reality, you're simply aligning with what your soul already carved out for you, which I highly think is beautiful, because I feel like to a certain degree, the whole manifestation world is a fucking hoax. It is convincing people that they can create things up out of thin air, which they totally can, depending on their soul's journey, right? Because we're here in this lifetime to evolve our unique perspective on the human experience. So all of our experiences are going to be different because they're going to bring us different things. So when we experience certain relationships, certain circumstances, it's because it's literally evolving our consciousness. And since we're all interconnected and we're all part of the same collective consciousness, you're evolving consciousness altogether by your own unique singular experience. So maybe in this lifetime, your soul didn't reincarnate to be a millionaire that has 10 houses and 10 cars. Maybe that's what your ego wants, because maybe that's what society is convincing you that that is what success looks like and that's what you should strive for. But maybe your soul just came here to fucking live on a farm. I don't know. Maybe in a past life you lived in a fucking like empire, and maybe you did some, I don't know. It's just crazy how like everything's always tied into our past lives and this current one. And so all I'm trying to say is that you're allowed to want the things that you want, but if you create attachment, like egoic attachment to those things, thinking like, I deserve this, I want this, I'm gonna get this no matter what. First of all, you are creating an expectation of something. The second that you create an expectation for something in your life, you're probably going to be disappointed when it doesn't turn out exactly how you had hoped it would. That's why no expectations is literally what sets you free. Let's say you're dating someone. If you have an expectation that y'all are going to be together forever, you're going to be fucking disappointed when you break up, because Maybe your souls chose that they would be together for a certain amount of time, bring each other a certain amount of things, but it wouldn't be a lifetime forever thing. But then the ego is attached to the meaning, it's attached to the outcome, the expectation. So then it's wrecked. The breakup happens and it's like, oh my God, I can't live without them. That's the attachment. Like we know the saying, attachment leads to, well, no, I don't know if it's actually a saying, but attachment creates so much suffering. So if you're really, 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 really attached to this desire, like I really, really, really want to live in that house, I'm really going to have that car, that's tension. You need to be in a free-flowing state where like, oh, it would feel so good to drive that car, but you know what? I'm good even if I don't have that car. It would be a plus to my experience, but I already feel so whole and complete, and I'm just so grateful for everything I've already experienced and everything I'm being blessed with every single day. That car is just a plus. That type of energy, y'all, is so much more attractive than desperate, I want it, I need it, I'ma get it. There's nothing wrong with wanting the things that we want, right? We understand the difference between masculine and feminine energy. The masculine is the doer, the go-getter, the doing the action. The feminine receives, the feminine lets go and just chills. So that's why I think it's important that like there are things that are appropriate for the masculine and other for the feminine. When it comes to aligning with your desires and wanting to receive all the things that you want to receive, it's best to be in the feminine. Even if you're a man, this doesn't mean you're a little bitch. We're not talking about that. I feel like a lot of guys don't understand. You're literally made up of feminine and masculine energy. It doesn't mean you're a little bitch. The feminine energy is like the emotional side, the intuitive side. It doesn't mean that like, you know, you're a feminine man. That's not what it means. A man that is not resistant to his feminine energy is extremely attractive to a woman, because then that means his yin and yang energy is balanced and then she can feel safe. Anyways, Jesus, I wasn't trying to go there. Oh God. My point is there are certain of your desires that are going to require action on your end. You know, it's like people want to shit money unless you inherit it or it just like falls out of the sky. You're probably going to be gifted with an idea that if you follow and trust and persist with is going to bring you the financial abundance that you've been asking for. And another thing I think our egos don't understand is divine timing. You might be manifesting like millions for 20 years. Like, yeah, it could happen as quick as it wants to happen. But if that's not on your soul's journey, you know, like if it's not on your soul's journey to be a millionaire for the next 20 years, if you let go of the attachment, if you trust that you're provided for on your way there, and you can hold on to the pleasure of the desire because you're like, wow, this would feel so good. It feels so good. The only way that a desire is successful is if you're happy and fulfilled, even if you have or you do not have it. Because I know this is where it's really hard, because people are going to be like, well, I don't want to be single forever and my car's beaten up and I have bills to pay. I understand. The only thing I'm trying to assist you with is detachment from that thing, detachment on how long it will take, detachment on how it will come to you, detachment if it comes at all. And I know this can be difficult because the ego wants what it wants, and the ego, I deserve this and I want this and my life is going to be so much better when I have this. But it's about practicing that peaceful state of being before having that thing, because you're not going to be a completely different person when you have those things. You're going to be shifting versions of yourself the more that you advance. And I feel like it's really important to stay grounded in who you are, because you're going to get to know the version of yourself that's broke and that eats ramen every week. I'm not saying that this is the same thing. I'm generally speaking just to give you an idea. But let's say a person gets to know their broke version that can barely afford groceries, stuff like that. It's a whole different state of reality than the fucking version of them who lives in a 4-bedroom house, 2 cars fully paid for. You know, it's those types of things. But there's going to be gaps. You're going to have to get to know yourself, the different versions of yourself who have those different types of things. And the best way that you can do that is if you've predicted it ahead of time. Now, I feel like I'm jumping from one thing to another, but this is how my brain works. So I hope it's not too like ADHD and you're following along and you don't have a headache at this point. But let's keep it fucking rolling, okay? This is what happens to me. I want you guys to understand when I record these podcasts, I don't have notes. It's my brain. It's my brain, and I'm just going with what it comes up. And when I'm in flow and I'm inspired, I don't take breaks. I'm only taking breaks because I'm sipping on my coffee and it's really good and I don't want it to get too cold. But other than that, I'm all yours and it's fucking streaming. So what I wanted to say, when you can predict it from ahead of time, meaning this is the whole life script thing. I want you to tell me how it feels to live in that house before you live in that house. So then when you live in that house, you're not surprised. This is what you were expecting. This is what you became attuned to. This is your new normal. It was your new normal before it was even your normal. Does that make sense? So you get specific on the details and how it feels. And I want you to use family members. I want you to think about what it feels like, what it smells like, what it tastes like. Let's say you're manifesting a bunch of wealth. I don't really like the word manifesting. I fucking hate it actually, but we're going to go with it just so we all understand each other. I have to use a lot of words that just the normal fucking world uses. I don't like the word awakening. I don't like the word like woke, unwoke, asleep. It's stupid, but sometimes it takes what it takes. So let's say you're manifesting, quote unquote, a bunch of money. What do you do with that money? What would you do if you had all that money? So let's say you want to live in that big house and you want to have that big family. Okay, well, I want you to describe me a Christmas in that house with your family. And what are the foods you're eating? And you cooked them in that kitchen. What does that kitchen look like? What does that kitchen have, or the things that you want? I know a lot of people either struggle to dream this big and start, like, I want you to get specific to the point. I want you to tell me what type of utensils you're using. Like, are they metal? Are they wood? Hopefully not plastic, because those have hormonal disruptors. We don't like those. And like, even how does your drawer like handle feels like what is your fridge? Like, what noise do you hear when you grab ice? Do you have an automatic? It's the little things like that. Okay. I know it can be very far. Like, I don't need to know what the fucking sound of my ice machine is like, Laura. I understand, but it makes it a lot more easier to get attuned to that reality, where you already live in the big house, you're existing there, you wake up there, you go to sleep there, you see your friends, you have them over for dinner, you do your laundry, you take a shit. Like, you take a shit there now. You don't take a shit where you've been taking a shit for the past years or months or wherever you've been living, you know? That's what the whole movement of being delulu is. When you're delusional, it means that you are no longer tapping into your third dimensional reality. You are tapping into your imaginative, creative field of creation instead of looking at the external circumstances and then choosing how you feel. You choose what you feel, you choose what you want to experience because it feels good, and then the external follows. Now, here's where it gets touchy, and here's literally why I started this tangent, because this is what inspired, like, the first thought that birthed this whole 20 minutes of me talking. When you start listening to your life script, you start feeling really good, entertaining the thought of the things that you want, how it feels, how it looks, all of that. Holy shit, buckle up. Are you ready? The process of reprogramming your subconscious mind and shifting realities is going to be a tedious one, for the simple reason that the way your subconscious mind works is sorry, I feel like a lot of people understand this, but a lot of people don't. So I'm going to talk to you as if you've never fucking heard about this, all right? Your subconscious mind is based off of the past. Your subconscious mind wants to keep you where you are. It doesn't know that you don't enjoy not having financial freedom. It doesn't know that you're unfulfilled and you're unhappy. It just knows that the current way you've been living, with the same thought patterns, with the same outcome, the same results, the same relationships, it understands that it needs to keep you there. Its mission is to keep you there, because it does not know if, when you shift into the reality where you're financially abundant, you have the relationship, the house, the car, whatever it is, it doesn't know if that's safe for you and for it. Because if you shift into a new reality, you're going to have new beliefs, new thoughts, a new self-image, a new identity that is going to be death to the old one. Not actually, but you know what I mean? Like I was saying, there's a difference between the person who was broke and then the version of them who has the house and everything is paid for. Your subconscious mind associates a shift in reality to the same thing as being fucking chased by a dinosaur. It does not know that it's not going to die, but it literally thinks that it's going to dissipate. So it's doing everything in its power to keep you from shifting. How is it going to manifest in doing that? It's going to present you with experiences that might offer you resistance or discouragement. So maybe you're going to feel really good for a few days, a few weeks, keep it rolling, but then something's going to happen in your life. It's going to fucking put you down. It's going to put you down. You're not going to feel like doing anything. Hence why I have not been feeling like doing anything, because there's a paradigm shift. The word paradigm is really important for you to understand and like absorb. A paradigm, I see it as like different rooms. It's different dimensions. It's different paradigms. It's different parallel versions of reality. The paradigm where you operate a certain way is going to be different than the paradigm you operate in the new way that leads you to the financial wealth, the fulfillment, the love, and everything. When you shift paradigms, when you choose to consciously place your focus and attention on shifting your paradigm, you're going to be offered with resistance to that, as your subconscious mind does not want to let it happen. So you're going to start feeling down. Like I was saying, your brain is going to tell you you're too tired to work on that thing. Your brain is going to tell you like, I don't want to do this. It's going to really try to reel you back into your old ways. This is where you have to persist. And I needed my brother to tell me yesterday, Laura, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I thought I just needed a few days to rest. And I think I did. It did me good. I did, I chilled for a few days. But my brother is simply the manifestation of my subconscious mind being like, you need to keep going at this point. Because I'm persisting through the old paradigm. The old paradigm is trying to keep me where it's at because it feels like danger is near. It feels like this is not safe. Let's keep her from shifting because we don't know what's going to happen to her. I can tell you what's going to happen to me, and I don't think it's anything that bad. I'm willing to find out. But this is where people crack, and this is where the paradigm shift doesn't happen, and this is where they get reeled back into their old ways of believing and thinking and behaving. So my brother like was making jokes yesterday, and it was a pretty good one. So my brother, he's not a weight loss coach, but he's definitely a fitness coach. Like, change your body. He teaches it with the mind, everything. A really good coach. If you need someone to help you with your physical transformation, please hit me up. I will gladly give you the details. He was just explaining to me how basically he gave me this analogy, how, when someone's like been eating healthier, working out, and they are seeing progress, and they're like, oh, I just lost 20 pounds. Right? But then they start getting discouraged and tired. They're trying, like the subconscious is trying to reel them back in. The old paradigm is that they're fat, they're overweight, they're unhappy. Even if that's not what they want, the subconscious is going to try to bring them back to that. So then it tells them, you have this craving. Maybe you should skip the gym today. Oh, you're feeling tired. You deserve to rest. That type of thing. There's nothing wrong with resting. There's nothing wrong with having cheat meals. Like, I'm the first advocate of that. I'm just saying, you got to get good at seeing when you're being trapped by your subconscious mind, okay? Because the voice of your subconscious mind is going to sound very normal. It's not going to sound like something that's trying to harm you. It's literally going to sound like, I'm too tired. And you're going to maybe tell yourself to listen to it, but you're probably not even tired. So you're literally falling for the trick to keep you in the old reality. So let's say that person falls into the trap of like going back to eating poorly and too much, and then lacking going to the gym and stuff like that, and then starts being upset that they're not seeing progress anymore. It's like you have to keep going in the direction you were going in. That's why a lot of people talk about self-discipline. You have to keep going even if you don't want to, type of thing. Here's what I believe. I'm going to offer you the two sides. I find that there are people who are pushing self-discipline in a very unhealthy way. There's people who are pushing going to the gym like overly too much, 7 times a week, not taking time to rest and chill and reset. I think that we've been existing in generations of energetic chaos. And right now we're all purging that. We're all coming to more awareness and more peace. So I don't think that working harder and faster is going to do any great deal to anybody. But here's what I do believe. You still need to work hard on the things that you enjoy. I elaborate on this in my ebook, which it's called, by the way, I never gave you the name. It's called Shift into Your Desired Reality, How to Write Your Successful Life Script. I talk about the difference between working really hard because you've programmed yourself your entire life that the only way to get what you want is by working hard and literally doing hard physical labor and just sweat and tears and like pain. You know all those motivational speakers and like the speeches with like the aggravating war music? It's like, work hard, stop being a lazy bitch. I get it. But I really don't resonate with that. I don't resonate with that. I know that maybe some men like to be talked to like that and shit, but I'm just like, I can get stuff done in a peaceful manner where I'm not overworking myself. I get to sleep, I feel grounded, I feel calm, and I have the best energetic field to expand my energy and create more things from that energy instead of being overworked, overtired, and just all that shit. So it's up to you to see what you resonate with, but all I'm trying to say is like your desires are still going to require your action, but your action, maybe it'll be challenging. Maybe it'll be like, oh, I don't feel like doing this today, but you know what? I know I want to do this, so I'm going to do it for myself, which is the same equivalent of like, I'm going to commit to going to the gym type of thing. But if it's like, you can't quit now, you little piece of shit, you want to be a piece of shit forever, that doesn't feel like it's coming from a loving place. I know some people literally need to talk to themselves like that. And I'm not saying I'm right, but I feel like it comes from a fucking trauma spot. Like if you need to operate like that, maybe just check yourself, maybe just meditate. I don't know, go talk, go do something, because like that doesn't feel very harmonious and like unconditional compassion type of shit. Like I know that there's this new motive, like, oh, start 6 businesses and like work really hard and stuff like that, which is fine, but I'm here to tell you that you don't have to. You can start the business that you want. You can be an entrepreneur or like just self-employed, doing the things that you love. You're going to show up for yourself. You're going to place the conscious action, but you're not going to become your own slave. Does that make sense? People think like, I'm exiting the matrix. No. But you're not like following your soul though. Like you're literally doing it out of like greed and I want a lot and give me more. So I guess that's fine. But if we're here to just be the highest authentic versions of ourselves and assist all of us to all be on that wave, because that's literally where we're the most free. It's obviously going to look different for everybody, but man, I just don't resonate with that whole fucking gorilla, tyrannosaurus, raw energy, you know? It's just like, chill out, fuck shit. You can still make stuff happen even if you're not like that. You know what's funny is like, I didn't even plan on talking about this in this episode. Like I had a totally different train of thought and it didn't go that way at all. But I'm very glad because this is pretty good stuff. I'm not gonna lie. So we're gonna like backtrack a little bit because I wasn't finished with the thought saying, when you start to listen to your life script, when you start to embody that state of being, of having the thing that you want and how good it feels and stuff, you're going to have to purge everything that belongs to the old paradigm. So you're probably going to experience a lot of like disbelief. And I don't know if I should keep doing this, because the thing is, the ego loves physical proof, right? And if we don't get the physical proof, we think it's not working. So we think that, let's say someone starts making YouTube videos and it takes like a year and they're still only at like 500 subscribers. They're going to give their power away to the 500 subscribers instead of being like, you know what? I genuinely enjoy making those videos and I don't need external proof for me to keep doing this. I love doing this. And trust me, if I put 500 people in front of you, you'd shit your pants. You'll be like, damn, that's a lot of people. But because we live in this world right now where everything's literally oversaturated, there's too much. It's always like in big scales. It's like, oh, well, since you only have, 1 million, you don't have 10 million, you suck. But no, it makes us go back into the ego, back into the performance, back into the physical external reality. And that's where you can become trapped sometimes, because then that's where you forget that where you place your focus, it'll expand. Where you shift your energy, that's where it's going to grow. Because I found myself in the past few months, I've been listening to my life script. I've rewrote it a few times, re-recorded it, because you're going to shift and realize, you know what? I want to add this to it. I want to change that. It's very important to move with that. But sometimes the resistance of the subconscious mind is so fucking powerful. Like, you know, you want to write your life script, but your brain is going to convince you it's not going to work. You're too tired. Fuck it. I don't want to try this today. I'll do it tomorrow. Literally, the excuses are so fucking subtle. But when you think about it, excuses are just the subconscious trying to keep you where you are. The subconscious doesn't do this because it doesn't love you. It wants to harm you. It doesn't want you to enjoy everything that you want. I'm literally telling you, it thinks it is an unsafe environment. It doesn't know. So that's why you, the conscious mind, the conscious creator that has the power to choose, say no, say yes, when, how, show up for yourself. That's where the self-discipline is important, you know? When writing my ebooks, there were times where my energy was not aligned. So I was like, you know what? I don't really want to propel this shit. I'm not writing today. But I promise you that there were days where it was pure subconscious being like, I don't want you to finish this because there's something on the other side of this that is going to shift my current paradigm, and I do not want you to make it there. So I'm going to tell you that you're too tired, you don't want to work on this thing, maybe it's never going to work, what are people going to think? And then all the fears start showing up. The mind, the physical mind, starts convincing you, I do not think you should follow through with this. What are people going to think about you? People are going to think you're crazy. No one's going to listen to you. People are going to criticize what you did. People are going to listen. That's literally all ego. And we already know that ego is small self. Ego is limited self. That's why when you get intuitive callings to do something, you must listen to it. And I'm getting goosebumps. Holy shit, what is going on today? People talk about like break free from the matrix, exit the matrix. We're all talking about, the only thing we're fucking talking about is freeing your mind. Freeing your mind from being a slave to the mind. Because who do you think programmed your mind? Your environment. So you became more attuned to your third dimensional reality. You let go of the power, your imagination. We all know how children have the most powerful, precious energy of creation and imagination. And because adults who have been conditioned and just like fit into a little box are programmed, they go ahead and program all the kids like that. This is literally what school is. Hence why I'm not a fan of the educational system, all right? A lot of people know this. A lot of children have so many good ideas, so much playfulness, but then there's an adult that tells them it's stupid. There's an adult that tells them it's ugly or it's not good enough. If you get told that a few good amount of times, you're eventually going to believe it because you're the child, you're stupid, right? But then we spend years of chasing our worth externally. You chase it externally. You don't have to chase externally when it's aligned with you. You're chasing something that you can offer to yourself right now. Hence why it's contributing to the illusion. Okay. A lot of people are going to chase money and a career and stuff like that because they feel like unworthy beings. Because maybe as children, it goes back to childhood. I'm sorry, we're all little babies. Like adults, fuck you. Sorry, that was direct. But we're all literally just little children. And it would be nice if everyone could start acting more like, free roaming kids. But anyways, show up into this physical realm, so much excitement, you want to explore everything, but then you get poisoned one time by mom that says, that's not good enough. Then you get poisoned a second time by dad saying, I want you to be a lawyer instead. I don't want you to be an astronaut. Whatever the fuck, just stupid shit like that. Then you go to school. You do something. Oh, classmates don't think it's nice. They start judging you, making fun of you, and then they're all in a fucking little bubble laughing at you. All of that is going to teach you and condition you to not be yourself. Because every time you have tried to show the world who you are, life fucking stepped on you and squished you like a bug. Sorry. It happened to me too, don't worry. So then you spend your entire life trying to be loved by people who can literally never offer you the love that you can. Like your mom will never offer you the love that your inner being can offer you. Okay? Like we're out here chasing love like, oh, I want to be in a relationship. Literally, it's just, oh man, I know when people say you literally have to love yourself first. Guys, I'm not kidding. This is a fucking cheat code. When you learn that you've been chasing love externally, you are literally offering to yourself a limited amount of the love that you can receive from yourself. Once you stop giving your power to others by saying, if only this person would love me, if only this person approved of what I was doing and could show me the love, I'd be fine. It's never fucking gonna happen. Hence why it never happens, because life wants you to realize that it starts with you, and that the second that you offer it to yourself, you'll be free because you won't be chasing it externally. So if you're not chasing something externally, that means you're internally fulfilled. If you're internally fulfilled, that means you do things from a genuine place of interest and playfulness. Does this make sense? So when someone is stepped on and squished like a bug, as a child, as a teenager, even as an adult, There's adults, man, who get shit on. You go to work, your boss is an ass, never thinks you do anything good enough. Like, you're still a child. Even if you're 45 and you're getting shit on, you don't feel good about it, but you've accepted that as your new normal, and you literally don't see any way out. You've literally not been shown the doors how to let go of all of that. So a lot of people either accept that as their faith, they do nothing about it, and they just, play in the little normal societal roles. Like, oh, I guess I'm just gonna stick to this job that I fucking hate because I'm not good enough to do what I really want to do. I guess I'm just gonna marry this person because I haven't met anyone yet, and they treat me pretty good, and like, I'm not that fulfilled, but like, I don't want to die by myself. It's all of this settling when really it was not necessary at all. If only you had fucking realized that you were worthy all along. It started with you. It doesn't start with mom or dad. It doesn't start with your teachers or your classmates. You will never be free if you are chasing love externally. And life wants you to realize that, so it's going to bring you relationships that are going to hurt you. It's going to bring you circumstances and experiences that are going to fucking hit you even harder. And then you go into victim ego mode like, why is this happening to me? I just want to be loved. Is that so hard? Apparently it is really hard to ask because you can't even fucking give it to yourself. Jesus, what are we going to do? So do you understand after when we talk about like the whole awakening process and self-awareness? How do you want someone to be free if they think they're a slave to their physical reality and they're a slave to the fucking validation of other people? No shit, you're a slave and you don't feel free. You're literally giving away your power to all of the external circumstances in your life. Now, with this being said, every soul's journey is different. Like, literally. There are some people who are going to realize this shit within the next few years. There's some people who are never going to realize it, and maybe it'll be in a different lifetime. I don't know. And there's some people who are realizing it right now. And it's heavy because it's like, why is no one talking about this? But Laura is talking about this. But I'm just very impressed at myself on how I fucking address these types of things, man. Like, this is complicated shit, but it makes so much sense to me now. So I'm trying to make it as easy to understand for you. The last thing I want to close off with is, now we already know I don't like Disney. I don't approve of Disney, and like, I'm boycotting it to the most that I can. I'm still watching some things on it sometimes because, I still like watching Lilo and Stitch and all that shit. But there's one movie that Disney did right. I don't know if it's propaganda or whatever, but I still love it. It's called Soul. This is literally the best movie to watch. If you've had a spiritual awakening, you haven't had one, whatever, you need to fucking watch this. The first time I watched this, a friend recommended it to me and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I thought it was like, it's probably going to be boring. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll watch the movie. But I had smoked a little weed before. My God, I had food waiting for me. And when you smoke, you get hungry and you're like, I was so mesmerized by the movie I was seeing. I literally didn't touch my food for like 30 minutes. I was just like jaw to the ground watching like, oh my God. Did he just say fucking chakras? Did he just say astral dimension? Did he just say projection of your consciousness? What the fuck? I was so confused that Disney would make a movie like this. But then I was like, maybe they know something and they're finally making a movie about it. Or they're trying to like propel this knowledge so that people... Because there is a spiritual hoax, but I'm not going to get into that. We can save that for the next episode. All I'm going to say, I'm so chaotic sometimes. It's actually incredible. In the movie at some point, there's like these big dark guys, and these are lost souls. So they became so obsessed with something in life that they're totally disconnected, okay? And then obviously they look like they're stuck in a big black character thing, whatever. Oh shit, my God, I got scared. Hold on. Okay, we have these characters who are like so disconnected from life, right? And then you have this guy who's literally working at the stock market, just typing away at his computer, fucking miserable, until they do like this little, like drum tapping little dun, 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 and then they kind of like open the portal so that the soul can like hop back, so that literally a spiritual awakening happens. And then when the soul sees his body just like sitting at the computer being like he's like, oh my God, thank you so much. And then the soul jumps back into the body, and then the guy just wakes up from his computer and he's like, what am I doing with my life? And then he runs around breaking the computer saying, free yourselves, it's beautiful. That's literally what a spiritual awakening is. And it can happen to anybody at any time, at any age. So it's not about how young you are. Like, you can literally be 60 years old and realize, like, oh my God, this isn't what I thought it was. What the fuck have I been doing this whole time? If you liked this episode, which I know you did, because oh my God, wasn't that good? I highly suggest you get my ebook, Shift into Your Desired Reality, How to Write Your Successful Life Script, because if you buy this and you commit to yourself to writing your life script, to recording your life script, listening to it, and then you listen to this podcast episode whenever you feel resistance or like, oh shit, my subconscious is trying to pull me back, fuck, you will learn how to shift your paradigms. It's really not that complicated. It's an amazing fucking tool if you choose to consciously apply it for yourself. It's right here. It's available to you. There's a fucking reason you're listening to me right now and it's available. I know so many of you guys have already gotten it and you're telling me how excited the whole process for writing it is. And I'm so excited for you guys because it's literally so much fun playing with this type of stuff and realizing you can live the life that you want, detached from the outcome, of course. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I had so much fun. I'm so grateful that I got my energy kind of like back realigned, because this episode would have sucked. This episode would have sucked if I had not consciously shifted my thoughts before falling asleep last night and consciously embodying the state of being that I was stating in my life script this morning. So I love you guys very much. And let me know what you guys thought of this episode. If you have questions, if you have suggestions for the next one. And I love you. I'm sending you a big hug. And I highly hope that you write your life script. So I love you guys. I'll see you on the next On the Laulau with Lolo. You know. Okay. I love you. Bye.